hey, how you doing? Come on over here so I can tell you this little story. Not even really a story. We're going to check on. You understand what I'm saying? Ha ha. Check this out. Don't you know that it's true? As for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Yeah, the world is a ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. Look, check this out. Come on a little closer. Y'all know how we do every week. We check on. We see how you doing. So check this out. Before we even do that, hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Crazy G want to know what you doing. I said it 2 times. We gonna check on. Let's check on. Who's this on the phone? Oh, it's nephew. Hey, what's going on, nephew? What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Unc? What's going on, Unc? Yeah, everything's good. You know what I'm saying? I just called to check up on you. Yeah, I appreciate you checking up on me. Every week you do the same thing. Yeah, I do every week. I care about you, Unc. I care about you. And the fans care about you. Yeah. So what's going on? Yeah, I don't know, Unc. I was thinking about, starting my own business, entrepreneur business. You trying to start a business or something? Yeah. I got a business you can start. You can take over my business. I had a hood towing service. A hood run the business. What? A hood towing service. Oh, okay. A hood run the business. Yes, in the hood. Yeah. Oh yeah, you want me to take that business over? Okay. Tell me a little bit about it. Yeah, boy, I made tons of money, boy. Do you know how many white people want to come to the hood just to ride through there to see how it is? Yeah, there are a lot of Caucasian people that want to get through the hood, huh? They scared too. Yeah, they scared. All you gotta do is get a secure bus, 2 bodyguards with 2 fake guns, and ride through the hood. I remember back when I rode through the hood. We came up on everybody look out the window. There's Tim and Pookie. Pookie used to be my best friend. Pookie? But no, Bookie. Until he got hooked on them drugs. He got his name Bookie. He got his name Bookie from when we was in elementary school. He used to crap on this stuff all the time. So we used to call him Bookie. So it kind of like stuck with him. Well, look at him now. Him and Tim. Yeah, they already got that dope in them. And what they're doing is what you call the flagpole lane. Oh, yeah, I heard about that, the flagpole lane. And don't worry, they will not fall. Their hands will not touch the ground and their spit will not break. It's an art. Look at them. The flagpole lane. Take pictures. Take your pictures now. And as we move further up the street, we just going to move up on a lighter group of guys. It's like 10 or 15. And these are known as just mad niggas. Okay, just a bunch of niggas, I guess. Yeah, I hear you, Uncle. Just a bunch of niggas, mad niggas. Yeah, they just mad niggas. Don't look at them too long. You look them straight in the eye, that means you want to war with them. So look down. Yeah, you were telling them people right, Uncle. The thing about it is they probably thought that you was entertaining, but that's true. And then a bus stopped. One of them was in front of the bus. And then I looked over and all of them was looking at the bus because they was daring that bus to move full of white people so they could tear that bus up. And I was telling the white people, look down. It's one of them is in front of the bus. Let him go ahead and serve his customer. Don't mess with him. Don't use your phones. Don't breathe. Don't even look at him. Just look down. Okay. He's finished. Okay, champ. Step on it a little bit. Step on it. I seen Pookie too. You know you owe Pookie money. Yeah. So that's just a couple of ideas, nephew, on what you can start. You can take over my business, the Hood Towing Service. Yeah. Yeah. Uncle, I appreciate that. I appreciate your knowledge on telling me about how to run a business. I got a couple of chips put away. I'm trying to start something. And you went to making money, nephew. Did you ever think about money? No, I ain't never think about money. I got. Hold on for a minute. I'm back, nephew. Yeah. I'm in the shooter. That's where I do my best thinking. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. You ever think about money? I know you think about making money, but did you ever think about money, son? Son, no. There are slave owners on money. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're right. It was a lot of slave owners on money. And people cherish money. They kill each other for money. They still killing each other for slave owners. Yes, son. Are you serious, on? Yeah, because you're a little seasoned. I know you was back there. You're a little seasoned. And just think about it. George Washington was one of the biggest slave owners. Yes. Back in the day. He was one of the biggest slave and richest slave owners that there ever was. And people walking around here cheering him on like he's some type of hero. He was one of the biggest slave owners. Yeah. Just imagine what he was doing. Back then, they was raping the women and fondling with the men. They was taking the manhood and raping them with black women. Yeah. Yeah, they was confusing people. Why you think we got so many gays running around here? Why you think so many people running around here mess with women and mess with men? Men that mess with women. Yeah, that's why the women mess with women and some men mess with men. I know, Uncle, it's serious. It's serious. We got to get to that. We got to try. We got to pray for people. They confused. Just like the slave owner. So, son, don't cherish money. You understand? And with that being said, you got about $20 I can borrow? You want a whole $20? Come on, Uncle, you sit there and said all that about money, now you want to borrow $20? I'll get it back to you. I'll get it back to you. I'll get it back. Told you I'll get it back to you. You acting like a little punk. What? What'd you say, Uncle? See, you always get me like that. Check this out, Uncle. Hello, Uncle? Huh? Talk to me like that. Hello? 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 Tune in next week. When we talk to Uncle again, I might let him on the whole $20. But look, before I leave, this segment, this segment right here was sponsored by Crazy G Noodles. And this flavor is called Street Flavor. Make sure you pick up my noodles at your nearest market. Crazy G signing out. Later.